Hello guys and welcome to What the Tech episode 28. My name is Adam Lobo.
And I'm Vernon.
And yes, we are back with more tech news, but this time around is going to be a bit more on the Pixel devices.
Yes.
Because the rumors from a hardware perspective is all correct. Certain things not so correct, but we're going to do like a recap per se. Now, to be completely honest, we do have the devices here in our studio, but because of embargo reasons, and in case you guys are not familiar, what is embargo?
Embargo means you cannot release any information or anything pertaining to that particular product or service.
Which sucks, right?
Which sucks.
Because in the end of the day, we have to abide to it. And if you don't abide to it, we sign a contract, we get sued. So we are not at that point of time, like Linus Tech Tips, whereby we are not afraid of being sued. So we just don't want to go through that. But yes, what we're going to do is that we're going to talk about the hardware devices and also the software, because a lot of software surprises, which it seems like that's what Google is doing moving forward, to leak all the hardware, but software-wise, they keep it in under wraps. Then we'll be also talking about the best tech news of the week, which is Apple is forced to move manufacturing to India.
No surprise.
China. And then I really like this as a Mac user. I'm sure you like it. So we're going to talk about more on this, which is the M5 MacBook Pro, or the rumored, which of course is coming, might be having a built-in 5G within the laptop, which I think is absolutely needed.
Finally.
And then for your segment, who asked for this, is the very unique Shenzhen-based smartphone, which is Bluefox NX1 phone. In case you guys haven't heard about it, it was kind of trending online for some strange reason. But when I started seeing it, I'm like, who asked for this? Makes sense. That's why it's going to be Vernon's situation over there. Community segment, site came up with a question this week, where if you had the power to delete one social media app forever, which is the one we're all going to be deleting, and tell us why in the comments. As usual, I don't look at the comments because I like to have the live reaction, but we do have the results over here, and we'll be discussing about that. And then what's exciting next week, Vivo V60 is finally launching here in Malaysia. I have the phone with me, but of course, once again, due to embargo, I can't show the phone right here. We also had our video release, which is the Poco F7. A lot of you all really appreciate it. Fun fact about a video, I had a comment, somebody asking me, what's wrong with my nose?
What is wrong with your nose?
Okay, now you cannot unsee it. I think you're all going to get very laughed about this particular situation. My nose is not straight.
It's crooked. Yeah,
It's slightly crooked because I have sinus since young.
I think everybody has a crooked nose like me.
Yeah.
I do have.
So there's one guy, and I didn't know how to reply. And it's like, guy, bro, is something wrong with your nose? Bro, concentrate on the phone, not my nose. Okay? But we do have the upcoming M3 Ultra Max Studio, which is very exciting because we did a gaming test, we did our video editing test, testing out Blackmagic RAW 17K resolution on the M3 Ultra Max Studio.
What is 17K?
Yeah, makes me want to buy a 17K camera moving forward, but it's okay. Let's just leave it at that. All right, let's first start off, talk about the Pixel devices. Like I mentioned, here in the studio, we do have the Google Pixel 10, the 10 Pro and the 10 Pro XL. And we are going to be talking about the rumors first and foremost. Let's first start off from the Google Pixel 10. Pricing, starting from 3,999 ringgit.
Very good.
Tensor G5, which is using TSMC's chipset,
3
which
nanometers,
exact rumor was correct. 3 nanometers, exactly the same as the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Haven't done the benchmark test yet. We will do it next week and report all of these things, yeah, so don't worry about that. The display is true on the rumors, 3000 nits of peak brightness. It's the same 6.3 inches, so there's no changes over there. There is a bigger battery, similar to what they mentioned on the rumors, which is 4,970 milliamps of battery, which was nice because for a baseline model phone,
it is quite substantial.
4970 is nice
quite
compared to 4,700 on the Pixel 9. 30 watts wired charging from 27 watt, not a huge difference. 15 watts of wireless charging, again coming from 12 watts. Now, Here's the thing about the camera though. So this one was a bit different on what the rumor said. The rumor said is that it's only going to be a difference of the change of the telephoto lens.
Okay.
But there's also a compromise on the main lens. So the telephoto lens has gone down specifically, even though last year there was no telephoto lens. Right now it's 10.8 megapixel telephoto lens with up to 5 times optical zoom, which is the same as the Pixel 9 Pro Fold last year. Because the Fold, believe it or not, but then again, a lot of folds were doing this. They always had a compromise when it comes to the cameras. But the main lens is 48 megapixel, which is similar to the Pixel 9A. So they're not using the 50 megapixel. Again, 48 to 50 might not be a lot, but then the image processing is great. Ultra wide has been also reduced from 48 megapixel to 13 megapixel right now. And the selfie cameras are the same. So let's first start with your opinion, Nabang. Pricing for 3,999 ringgit with these current specs with the added telephoto lens and reducing the main lens per se. Do you think that the Google Pixel 10 is a very good baseline model from Pixel?
I think it's very good. And to be honest, across the lineup,
Yeah.
I think the Pixel 10 is probably the biggest change in terms of spec bump and the differences in features. I think the Pixel 10 has the most. Having 3 cameras, I think, is a big advantage. And the question is that a move by Google to try and sway iPhone users? Because the iPhone base model only has 2, right?
What is the current price? Do you remember what's the current price of the iPhone base model?
I don't remember.
I can never remember pricing. Like I say, I suck at that. But yeah, 3,999 ringgit because the baseline iPhone has 2 camera lenses.
Exactly.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So is the potential is the Pixel the potential for Google to sway iPhone base model users at least?
Yeah.
Because it looks very attractive as a package. I know there are a little bit of changes here and there, which was a bit downplayed. And like you mentioned, the camera is like similar to the 9A, which is okay, I think. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, Pixel 9a's main camera was looking good anyway.
But the other things that you gain, the TSMC Tensor G5, a more powerful, more efficient chip, you get a lot more RAM, I believe, as per the leaked specs.
Yeah.
A good display, and also with Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and big battery.
Yeah.
Also, of course, something that we wanted to talk about was wireless charging and the Qi 2 charging, right?
Yeah.
And that's something really huge, I think.
Especially the Pixel Snap, which we'll talk about later on.
Exactly. Yeah. I think across the board, I think bringing MagSafe to Pixel
which is lovely. I'm very happy. We'll talk about that a long time coming. And it's good that, although we're going to talk about it later, but it's nice that Pixel or Google has the first one to really do it properly, not like what Oppo did with their Find X8 Ultra and the Pros and stuff like that.
What's your opinion on design-wise? Aesthetically, it hasn't changed much. So it looks literally like the Pixel 9, right?
Yeah, good question. Remember you mentioned 2 episodes ago about how you like the visor. I think them sticking to this particular design, they found their right niche per se, so that from far you kind of know that that's a Pixel phone. I don't care. I've reached to a point whereby, probably because I'm an iPhone user, so design changes for every single version.
Yeah, it's not warranted, right?
It's a thing of the past because only people like Vivo or Huawei does it. Even the Huawei, the Pura 70 and the Pura 80 is not much of a difference. There was a huge difference between the P60. So I think smartphone makers are slowly making sure that they don't change it too often.
Yeah. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single cycle, right? Not every year anyway.
Me as a person, and we talked about this a million times, you know how I like to type the phone on the surface, and there's absolutely no wobble on the phone because of the fact that the way the camera bump sits is right in the middle, so it gives you that elevation like that. Yeah. So it's nice to type the phone on the surface. Right? So that would be on the Google Pixel 10. Thanks for the question. Yeah,
in general, I feel that it's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
I think the Pixel 10 is going to be a hit.
Yeah. Okay, if the Pixel 10 is going to be hit, how about the 1,000 ringgit more, which is the Google Pixel 10 Pro, which is 4,999 ringgit, almost 5,000 ringgit, has the same Tensor G5. The display is 6.3 inch, similar to the Google Pixel 10.
It is a similar display.
I thought they would
at least... Is it the same panel though? It's the same size, but is it the same panel?
There's no exact word for the same panel, but I think they would have that because... Oh, wait.
If it was, if
I
it
think
was
it's
a
not, because you know
yeah.
why? The nits value for peak brightness is 3,300. So it could be a difference in the panel. But then again, who would tell a difference, right?
It does help. I mean, if you talk about always on and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
If it's a LTPO, then
Yeah.
you'll be able to go really low, like 1 hertz.
Could
to
this-
save battery.
I know this is off topic, but this could also come back to what Uma, you and I were talking
Talk about the Pro.
The pros,
Yeah.
right?
It is
So-
exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same
line of
case
thought,
whereby the
yeah.
Pro has a different panel, but it's still 120 hertz. But yeah, like we said, after Apple Park is done, the event is done, we'll bring back Uma and we'll talk about what we got right and what we got wrong. Cameras is unchanged from last year.
So it's the 50 megapixel.
I do not mind it, because last year's cameras were really amazing. We reviewed the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL and also the baseline Google Pixel 9, and I have no complaints on the cameras. The only thing which I agree with what Arun Maini said, Mr. Who's the Boss, is that the portrait mode has been horrendous. As of
Really?
late. Funny, right? Because they were the first one
Yeah,
who did
they were
the
always
best
very
one.
good.
The Google Pixel 2 XL, they said edge detection is still horrible, which is weird because they were the best, right? Until iPhones and.
But I'm sure
Samsungs of
that
the
can be
world.
fixed with software.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
because
from
like I said, we have the phones here. Next week, we are gonna give you like a spoiler, in-depth review on what we try, especially from the software perspective of things. Bigger battery, among 4,870 compared to 4,700 last year. So it has been a bigger bump, but not as big as the Google Pixel 10, which is 4,970. This is 4,870.
Yeah.
Not sure why. The wire charging has actually gone up to 30 watts. Now, I saw Android Authority's video, and he mentioned about Thread Radio on the phone.
What's that?
I have no idea. I don't know whether what he meant is that Thread Smart Home Thread or what Thread Radio, but nevertheless, I don't think if it's like radio, we're not going to get it here in Malaysia as well.
Right.
Now, if you were in a sales pitch representing Google, I love to do this to you. How are you going to push the Google Pixel 10 Pro to someone other than the cameras? Or is the cameras the only thing they can go? Like, if you want better cameras. Yes, I know you can sell the Google Pixel 10, but if your big boss, your CEO says, Vernon, you need to sell the Google Pixel 10 Pro, how are you going to pitch it to somebody to buy it?
Honestly, the game is set to. It's a losing game for the Pro.
Right? I feel
Yes.
so too.
So, if I was the consumer, it would either be between the Pixel 10 and the Pro XL. It's for the Pro to lose, to be honest, in this lineup.
So do you feel that Google has actually shot themselves on the foot?
Not shot themselves in the foot. I think they really want you to buy the XL in the end. Right? Maybe margins are even better on the Pixel 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's still a good. Still a good choice if you want a 6.3-inch phone
Yeah.
and you want a little bit more Pro features, which the Pro does offer anyway.
I think how we can kind of help everyone to understand, including you and everybody who's watching our usual YouTube reviews, is to really find out whether or not, when we compare side by side the ultra-wide cameras for the Pixel 10 Pro and the base Pixel 10, to find out is there even a difference.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bigger because there's a 48 megapixel compared to the ultra-wide on the baseline model. But then again, 13 megapixel to 48 megapixels is a huge jump. We just need to know whether or not there's going to be a difference if you do not pixel peep. My biggest thing that we all need to see is that because it's different megapixel count, it also has different sensors. So
Correct.
remember we talked about the
White
overall
balance.
Yes,
The colors that are shifting.
color
you
shift,
know.
right? So since we thankfully have all of the devices with us here, which also means there's a lot of work for me to do.
Extensive tests
Yes,
warranted.
extensive test is needed on that. Okay, for the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, which is my favorite since day one, pricing is 5,999. So what is happening here in Malaysia is the fact that the price is just going 1,000 higher, 1,000 higher, 1,000 higher, which is decent if you ask me. at least easier for people to know that, oh, if you pay 1,000 more, you get this, right? It's using the same Tensor G5 chipset, which also, if you look at it this way, it's not like what the iPhone did. Like they had the Pro versions on the Pro, and then they have the regular A19 on the regular, for example, right? But you're getting the same chipset throughout. It's the same upgrades as the Pro, which means that, the screen panel is the same. The battery is higher, which I'll talk about that in a moment. The cameras are also unchanged from last year. But the battery, though, this is the biggest on a Pixel phone ever, which is 5,200 milliamps of battery. No word whether you're using lithium or silicon anode or silicon carbon battery. I feel they might still be using the lithium one because it's still pretty thick, right? Currently, like I said before, the Pixel 9a gave me 11 hours of screen on time with a 5,100 milliamps of battery. Yeah, it's still the best, honestly. I felt like
even with the nothing phone with 10 hours, I was already very impressed. Because
again, it comes down to software optimization. I'm really eager to see how much battery life that we have on this. Now, you did say briefly about how people are not going to get the Pixel 10 Pro. Who is the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL for then?
I think for the power users and those who really want a big display and the best of the best. And you're definitely getting the best of the best from Google with the Pro XL.
Even the wired charging is upgraded to 45 watts. Yeah. So that is something.
It's still a catch up to the other competitors out there, but it's still fast.
Good point. Yeah. The favorite foldable phone from yours, which you always want to get your hands on. I hope that the agency here, you all know who am I talking about, gives us a
it's coming,
unit.
But it's coming to Malaysia officially, so it's a big difference.
We hope we can get a review unit for that. So at least you can try it out, and we can kind of review that. It will be our very first Pro Fold or Pixel Fold. That is starting with 2,000 ringgit more, which is 7,999 ringgit, which is within close to your Z Fold 7 LE. Cover display is rumored and correct, bigger, 6.3 to 6.4 inches. The inner display surprisingly stayed the same. We thought it's going to be slightly bigger, but it's fine. Better hinges, that one we haven't tried, but that's what the current specs has mentioned, and also people who had their hands on in the US.
Doesn't look like it's any different.
Yeah, but the rumor about IP68 rating was true. The very first foldable, which has IP68 rating.
So the question is this: how did Google manage it and Samsung no?
Right. Okay.
What about the rest of the competition?
Exactly. No one has done IP68.
So what did Google do and how did they manage that? I think that's the big question.
It is a big question which we can't answer. All we can do is that we can test it out to see. But then again, we have review units. We don't want to be responsible. But at the same time, IP68 rating is flagship level already.
Yeah.
Although their cameras are not flagship level because
the cameras are Pixel 10
last year. Yes.
Pixel 10 level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is apparently thinner than the previous 9 Pro Fold, but when Samsung released the Z Fold 7, it's like that's the pinnacle of thinness already. I don't think they can go even thinner than that.
I don't think you can because of the USB port.
Yeah, because the USB port is just
it's
right
literally
there.
There,
The wired charging though, it's improved, but from 21 watts to 30 watts. Still not like Pixel 10 Pro XL value with a slightly faster wireless charging. To 15 watts from 7.5 watts. Now, I know because I know you as a close person, as a close friend. I know you like the Pixel 10 Pro Fold because of the aspect ratio. So talk to us and tell everyone why is that? And among all, are you still going to choose the Pro Fold, or if you're given a choice, you will go with any other model?
I think if I was given a choice, the only other model that I would consider would be the Fold 7, the Z Fold 7.
If it's a foldable.
And it's a very close call. I don't think even at this point I can decide which one I'd take. I'd probably take the Z Fold 4 for the thinness. Form factor, I still like the Google Fold because when it's closed, it's shorter.
Yeah, it looks like a book.
it feels a bit more compact.
Yeah.
When it's closed, and when you open, it's also you still get that 8-inch expandable display, right?
Yeah, it's not like it's lower, like it's 8-inch, which is similar.
I always felt that the Samsung form factor, where it was more elongated, was a bit awkward when it was closed.
The current Z Fold 7
and they changed it.
Yes, but still not as square, right? I'm sure you would prefer the square. But yeah, let us know which aspect ratio. Do you like the square one or what Samsung does?
It's purely a matter of preference, and I think this brings back to the days of the Microsoft Surface Duo, which I liked.
Yeah.
The screen aspect ratio was a little bit square.
Something that you shared in our group chat, which you didn't share to the rest of the
world.
I did?
So what
please do. You said that you wish that if you close, then there's no cover screen.
Yeah.
Why?
It's really to reduce distractions.
Okay.
And
I can kind of understand.
Maybe there needs to be a small display just for notifications. But then you need to open the phone physically to be able to use it. Right? So it's nice. It's like a laptop. You just close it. And that's it. No distractions.
Okay. So
if that's what you want. That's what you want, right?
Okay. I don't think they're going to do that, but that's a very interesting point from that point of view.
Becomes like a clamshell, I guess, but without a display on the side.
So if given a choice or your advice to users, because it's 7,999, would you advise them to get a Pixel 10 Pro Fold or the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 then?
Very close in pricing, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The Z Fold is also 799.
Yeah, it's about 8-ish, but yeah, it's not too far ahead.
I think the other question that we've also talked about before was about the user experience.
Yeah.
So a Samsung user would probably not like, the plain Jane of Android.
Good point.
From Google.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite a quiet taste. Not everyone would like a clean Android completely. I think Samsung has added a lot of personality and flavor and features in one UI, which people love, because it expands what Android can do.
Yeah.
And even camera-wise, it may have other features that lacks in the Pixel camera. So yeah, I really think it's about a matter of preference, whether you want a clean Android or something that has a little bit more flavor.
So if you are an iPhone user and you had to choose, and
this is even tougher, right?
comes to you and say that, hey bro, I want to finally go into foldable. I'm sick and tired of waiting for iPhone to come with a foldable version. Which would you recommend to them? A Pixel 10 Pro Fold or a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7?
I think the question comes back to that as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's a matter of preference. Whether you want a clean Android or not.
You know that an iPhone user, what they would prefer. That's why you use an iPhone, simplicity. So would you say that you will push the Pixel because it is simple to use?
Yeah, maybe. That could be a possible thing. Yeah.
Okay, what if nothing comes out with a foldable with their software? So and just throw in another phone into
that could be interesting. I would really like to see what comes out of nothing in the foldable space.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the design is going to be striking and out of the world, out of this world kind of.
That's a good point.
But you can expect that the software experience is going to be really good.
Yes, that's definitely. So, as a conclusion, you would say that you will still push the Pixel for an iPhone user who's going to make a switch because it's as clean and as almost iPhone-like. Okay, that's good. For me, if I had a choice, I would still push them to use the Z Fold 7 because of the fact that it has been in the market for the longest time. Durability is really good. We still haven't seen our friend Zach from Jerry Rigs Everything do a bend test.
Oh, yeah.
And he did it on the current Fold. I was shocked that it did not break. I was shocked. Even he is shocked.
Yeah, he was shocked.
He was shocked. And he was like, he was so confident that he's going to snap it into, even the flip did not break. But the flip I can understand because it's thick. But the Z Fold 7 is so thin. And he still did not manage to snap it. That's not something that we're going to try, but yeah.
Yeah, incredibly.
So
impressive.
I would feel for a brand new user, right? I feel they should go with the Z Fold 7 first, so that they can get used to the overall durability, they can get used to the overall usage of things. But yeah, some may argue to say at least the 10 Pro Fold has an IP68 rating. But again, I feel like the software optimization for that kind of form factor, I feel that Samsung has the slight one up compared to Pixel. Because, Pixel has tons of great software optimization, but I think the software optimization to have that kind of form factor, I don't know whether the Pro Fold has this, but you know how the Z Fold 7 has like docks, like a Mac.
Yeah.
So you can literally have that. I do not know whether the Pro Fold has a similar style, which is quite nice. They have like these double apps where you can like click and then 2 apps come up, things like that. So that's why I would do it, but I understand where you come from in terms of getting them to go with that. Okay, let's talk about one thing, which is not one thing, but it's actually one of the major changes.
It's a very big thing.
Yeah, which is the Tensor G5. Now, at first, we thought that, okay, and I'm sure you also thought that it's still going to be like an Exynos chipset style, but it's going to go under TSMC. But apparently, they made it from scratch. It's the first ever made from scratch.
Really?
Yes. So I was shocked. I thought that, you're going to get Samsung to design it on the Exynos one. But no, apparently it's from scratch. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So because it's from scratch, it is the same place, which is TSMC, of course, that Apple, Qualcomm, and also NVIDIA is manufacturing the chip. And here's the funny part, because they mentioned that, the Google Tensor G5 has a better NPU for AI and efficiency and all. Yeah. But then again, Exynos devices on Samsung phones, the Galaxy AI and all has been okay with. So I'm trying to understand, why is there such a huge difference going away from Exynos?
I mean, it could be just adding more cores. Just like how Apple does it with Apple Silicon, right? You have more cores for the NPU, more cores for GPU.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Again, I guess this would come down to us using the phone daily, and then from there we can see whether or not there's a huge difference in terms of the
But I mean, there is no doubt the Google Pixel devices are all about AI, and all the features are going to be driven by AI. So the Tensor G5 with a bigger NPU, more cores and stuff would definitely help and optimize that.
Before we talk about AI, we're going to be talking about the Pixel Snap.
Yeah.
So the rumors were true. How excited were you to have the Pixel Snap on an
I mean, all I can say is welcome to the MagSafe world, Google. And I think it's great for consumers, great for the ecosystem as well. You'll be able to actually use MagSafe devices.
I know. Because that's what I missed on the iPhone 16e.
Yeah. I mean, once you're in the ecosystem, it's kind of hard to get out of it.
Especially like in the car.
Yeah, you don't have to get clamps and stuff for your phone. Snap wallet, snap batteries, snap whatever.
Some people may say that, they're following iPhone. I don't give a shit. As long as the user is more important, right?
I mean, it's fine to adapt and adopt things that work and people love and make sense. You know?
Yeah.
So, welcome to the MagSafe world.
Can you guess why did every other Android companies took so long to adapt to this? What is in their minds thinking that, this is not necessary? Because if you say that this is something that a lot of people would appreciate and like, then why hasn't any other Android companies do this?
I think that's a good question. Maybe it's not worth the investment for something maybe they thought is trivial and not a major feature for all. I was thinking, for a little while that whether it was a licensing issue.
I also thought, because I thought they kind of patented the whole entire thing.
So I thought it was a patent thing, but looks like it's not.
Apparently it's not. But we have to wait and see. Suddenly out of nowhere, they come out with some...
But I mean, it makes sense to put magnets in a device, right? Because it helps you align stuff and you don't have to guess how you're going to slot in.
I mean, we have companies like Belkin who does amazing MagSafe chargers and all, to know the fact that they can do it on a Pixel phone. Right. Especially with the Qi 2 wireless.
And it's built in, it's not on a case, So that's nice to see. I hope every other manufacturer follows, this line of thought and just implement it across devices.
Exactly, because especially when I review devices, you all know that I put the SIM card inside, and my main phone is always an iPhone and an Android phone. And when I'm testing an Android phone, sometimes I don't even bring my iPhone out. And when I drive, I can just put it
Yeah.
over there. So I think that's great. Now, they are also going to be releasing some ecosystem of hardware devices, which is the Pixel Snap wireless charging stand. Looks almost like your Apple's MagSafe kind of style, whereby
Yeah.
like it's just basically a metal piece and then you put a wireless charging stand. They are also going to have a Pixel Snap ring stand, which looks like those, the ring thing at the back, which is kind
Something
of
that you
interesting.
can buy from the shop.
And then apparently there are plans not directly with Google, but other third-party manufacturers for wallets and car mounts.
I'm sure they'll come.
I think the wallets thing, if you're wondering, y'all cannot use the iPhone 1 because the iPhone 1 has your ID to it and it'll say this is not your wallet. So you can't use the Apple ones there in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, car mounts like ESR and all, they come up with amazing car mounts, so that would be really good. Okay, while we all understand the hardware leaks and it was like 99.9% true, but the biggest surprise came in here from a form of the AI, right? And one of the many AIs, first of all, is the 100 times zoom using on-device AI. And this is why they say that, in the Exynos chipset, they couldn't do it on-device. They needed to go online.
Right.
This time around, it is on-device. And
So there's a chip that Google has on the Pixel phones.
Yes, which is the Tensor chipset, which is currently now the G5, which apparently now you have 100 times zoom using on-device. And I like this particular mode whereby if you zoom it to 100 times, you have an option to choose between the non-AI and an AI version of it.
Right.
So you can see whether or not you prefer the super smooth one or you want to use, but that is at 100 times zoom. So instead of just 30 times zoom before, it goes up to 100 times zoom because they use AI. But the Pixel 10 and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold only goes up to 20 times zoom. So that is for our zoomies out there.
How does it work without AI though? I mean,
So you
to enable it, I thought the 100.
Yeah,
for
so
the
that means
100X.
so it goes beyond that. So you're using optical, but you're not using AI to help to enhance. Because like what Uma mentioned last week, one of the biggest things about the Vivo phones, especially even right now testing out the V60, is after the fact, when you take the photo, it just looks so perfect. And you just don't have to touch it. It's just nice, So the processing is what they plan to do over here using the AI, and apparently the Tensor G5 is actually helping with that. So that's one of the main things. This is something which I talked to Mo about yesterday when I saw him. There's this feature called Ask Photos. Have you heard about it?
No.
I'm glad you haven't heard about it. Yes.
Ask Photos.
So if you take a picture, so Mo was like, I don't think it's going to work well. So we'll try and see. Just say they take a picture of something. Instead of you going to edit and just changing the contrast and the saturation, you tell it to increase the saturation.
It's like a prompt to AI to do it for you. Okay.
Yeah, so you have like Gemini saying that, hey, can you make it brighter? Can you straighten it? And apparently do it. Again, we'll test it out. I'll get you to test it out also next week. Okay, maybe you come in like a day before or something, just test it out, and then we can kind of talk about that.
Sure.
So Ask Photos, you can use your voice to erase the crowd, straighten the photo, put sunglasses on Luna or Kumon or Lisa, which is our cats. Then there's another one called Camera Coach. So
it teaches you how to take proper photos.
There you go.
Like a guide, I guess.
Like a guide.
Okay.
So it tell you to take picture. Like for example, maybe you take a selfie and ask you to adjust the angle. Okay. Again, we haven't tested this out yet, so that would be quite interesting. Now, Arun Maini, because he's one of the very few people who came out of the video, he said that he find it not very usable. He finds that his parents need it. But I feel like certain Instagram boyfriends could benefit from that, right? So at least you can impress your future girlfriends, which is true. Sometimes, dude, even for me, until today, whenever I take picture of my wife, I think my wife trusts more taking pictures of her compared to me. So sometimes when I take picture, I have this half thought, I don't know whether she's going to like it. I'm not kidding. Because you know how people who takes a lot of photos, like Mo, for example, have better eye when it comes to taking photos. When it comes to videos, I know we have the same style. But do you think that the camera coach is something helpful for anybody, or is it specifically for the uncles and the aunties?
I think some people need it.
Right?
Some people don't have the eye to just take photos.
Yeah.
They'll be taking that, but it's actually different from how they frame it in the eyes and how they frame it.
I think it's good.
So it does happen.
And you know what? I have to give a huge credit to Google for coming out with something new.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm sure it'll take some learning, and as many more people use it, they collect more data and it improves the system. It's like an LLM where you feel it, right?
Yeah. So, like
Feel
I
more
said,
data.
these two features, the Ask Photos and Camera Coach, I feel no one has done it before. And it's nice that there is that sort of guide, and he makes AI a bit more usable as opposed to just using it as a gimmick. It's nice.
And also more verbal, right? So
yes,
you're
because
basically
ideally that's what you want to
talking
do. I mean, Gemini is so powerful. We've seen it. So I think if you had to put between the hardware and the software, I think the rating that I give for the software is so much higher because it's so much better. Now,
and
there's
also much more enhanced compared to the competition at this point.
Exactly.
Right? Aside from, some of the stuff that Samsung AI is doing.
One thing which is not as clear though, because you know how certain features like circle to search, for example, it's not only available on Pixel devices, it's available for any Android devices. I'm just wondering whether this Ask Photos, I feel it could be only exclusive for Google Photos. But then again, you can download a Google Photo in any Android phones. You can even use it on an iPhone.
Does it need a Google AI Pro plan or something like that?
Yeah,
right?
so we need to know, because sometimes the way they ninja things like this is quite interesting. Another thing which Google decided to follow what Apple did is the Pixel Journal app. They came out with their own journal
they
app.
have a journal.
But apparently,
is anyone here into journaling?
I tried it on the iPhone journal. I did it for 4 months, and then I became emo. Here's the reason. So I have this positive thinking, right? So I really wanted to do something or go like there's something that I want to achieve, but I didn't achieve it. I tried to visualize it and all, and I just talked about it, and I just tried to be very positive about it, and it didn't happen. I was like, screw this, I'm not going to use it. But yeah, so it's interesting how they came up with that. I did not think it's necessary, but then again, I guess since the NPU allows you to do on-device stuff, that's why they said, you know what, why don't we just include that? Yeah. And there's no Android version of it, so I can kind of get why Google has gone with that. And from a rate from 5, that means like from 5 to 10, that means like, okay, let's just say 1 out of 5 lah. What would you rate the current software introductions from Google this time around?
From 1 to 5?
1 to 5.
I would say a strong 3.5 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say 4, because if it works well, I would say 4, but yeah, we need to test it out and to find out whether it can probably go up to 5. Maybe it does a so bloody good job that we go like, wow, what is this? The good news is that if you're watching and listening to this here in Malaysia, the pre-order and availability is on the 21st of August. So you can already kind of start the pre-orders right now as you're watching this, which is tomorrow, which is 23rd of August. So you can still do it.
21st of August. Okay.
Yeah. And online and offline stores will be from the 28th of August onwards. It will be available on Shopee, all the telco companies, not you all know telco companies, I'm not going to mention because they're not sponsoring any segment. Urban Republic, great guys, that's why I mentioned, and Thundermatch Technology. So you can actually go there and buy it. The telco companies have their plans, of course, similar like how they do it for Google devices previously and Samsung devices and iPhone devices as well. But let us know which one of this whole entire lineup would you get. Let us know in the comment section below. But one final one, among all of this lineup, including the Pro Fold, which is the one you're going to get?
Get. If I had money, is it?
Yeah.
Fold.
Okay. For me,
if I had no money, it would be Pixel 10 because that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's true. For me, I would get the Pixel 10 Pro XL because I love that. Because I'm very happy with my Z Fold 7. Okay. I'm very happy with the Z Fold 7.
No, but okay.
I'm going to have like
any other devices aside, based on this lineup, which would you get?
I would still buy the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL.
Okay.
That is choice number 1. Choice number 2 would be the baseline.
Okay.
Because
the baseline.
Because you know why? I want to try to see whether or not it's worth it. And for the past few years here on the channel, we've always reviewed the baseline anyway. I would love to test out and use the Pro Fold, but I wouldn't buy it for myself.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I look at it, it looks outdated. With the extra bezels.
Kind of agree with you. Yeah. I think they could do better in the terms of design.
Yeah. You don't have to change the other Pixel devices, the look, but the Fold, it really looks, last year still fine, right? Because Samsung was still playing catch up. Yeah. But if you're going to release it this year, when you look at a device, it looks cool, it looks different. But when you start looking at the front with the bezels and how like when you fold it, there's a metal part that
Yes.
comes inside,
Yes, this is
which
quite
almost looks like the first Z Fold.
It looks quite awkward, yeah.
So it looks something
Can be
which
better.
it looks outdated. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't buy it. But I would love to use it and to see whether or not how is it using it daily.
But
Okay.
what about exclusivity though? Because you know that you'll probably be one of two people in Malaysia using the
Yeah, but
the
that is a
phone.
flex which will last for 5 seconds.
I know it's true.
It's
I
like
mean, you don't
it's
buy
like
it to
driving
flex, right?
driving a Porsche versus driving a BMW.
You don't buy it to
right?
flex. You buy it to
Yeah.
use it every day.
You know, oh, Pixel Chun, bro, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Right? The fold. Oh, you got a fold. Wow, can you mean? Oh, okay. And then okay. By the way, how are you, like, bro? You get what I mean? So it's cool. I understand what you mean by exclusivity, but yeah, I think that is the maximum they can go. All right, that would be for the devices for this time around. Unfortunately, like I said, we couldn't show it here due to embargo reasons. But yeah, it is already available for pre-order, and let us know which exact variant of the Google Pixel 10 that you are going to be getting in the comment section below. As for news, there are two very quick news that we want to talk about. First of all is Apple having to force to move their manufacturing to India from China. So give us a lowdown on that.
Firstly, thank you, Mr. Trump, for causing global chaos and affecting also your own US companies, just like Apple. So apparently the entire lineup of the iPhone 17 is going to be manufactured in India, which is an unprecedented move because there are certain models that are manufactured in India, and of course all over the world as well. Vietnam, you have Mac Minis made in Malaysia. Obviously a lot of the iPhones are made in China. But because of the tariffs and also the uncertainty that's affected the global landscape, Apple is just making its kind of like a hedge to make sure that production and also its profitability is ensured across the the current landscape lah. Apparently, India exported 7.5 billion worth of iPhones in the first 4 months this year, which is a lot. And really, this move is to reduce reliance on China itself.
As a consumer, do you feel like it's going to be affecting us in any other way? No, like
it may
because you
affect
say
us in terms of pricing if Apple doesn't make this move, right? When there's impact to supply chain. And also talent, I think, is important because outside of China, there's not enough talent.
Yeah.
And I know that, Trump wants Mr. Tim Cook to bring manufacturing to the US, but it's just that the simple fact is that the US doesn't have that breadth of talent
So
that's
speaking of
required.
which, do you think that this move is step one before they go into moving it totally to the US?
No, I don't think they're going to move it to the US
Completely.
completely.
Okay. Good point.
Certain products, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the Mac Pro had some manufacturing
Yeah.
in California, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's possible. It's just not cost effective for Apple to do that. And also, I think Tim Cook has pledged 600 billion investment in the US
Yeah.
across the next 4 years.
Yep.
I think it's just to appease the Mr. Erratic Trump
Could be.
and his policies.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that apparently China has encouraged regulatory agencies to curb technology and equipment exports to India. I think it's also a competitive thing. And Foxconn recently also recalled hundreds of engineers and technicians
Yeah, I heard about that.
from Indian factories back to China.
Yeah.
So Apple really had to source from other countries like Taiwan and Japan to mitigate that, and also at a higher cost. So things like that kind of impacts Apple in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Probably not directly to us consumers yet.
Not yet.
But
Yeah.
it could be in a long haul.
But imagine if supply chain is cut
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there's demand but just
Yeah.
no supply.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Apple of yesteryears, right?
Yeah.
They always had this supply chain problem,
Yeah.
and which why Tim Cook was such a instrumental person in the Apple organization.
Exactly. Because he's still a logistic and a finance guy, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Now, the next news also pertains to Apple, but this time around is the rumored M5 MacBook Pro having a built-in 5G. Now, this is going to be the very first Mac to do it, and I believe it is possible since they own their own C1 modem. So now they can do anything. Other Windows laptop has, of course, done it before. Microsoft Surface Pro 11, Lenovo ThinkPad X1 cover,
yeah, a lot of
very
them have
famous. HP EliteBook and some other brands as well. Personally, for me, I really love this factor. I bring my Mac and I use my Mac more than my phone, believe it or not. Seriously, I carry my Mac more than I carry my phone around. My phone is usually like all over the place, but my laptop or my Mac is very important. I hope it comes to the Air though.
Okay.
Because currently it's only for Pro. Because I tend to bring the Air more like for run and gun situations, only for editing and stuff. Like especially like if I'm going out with a family and I have some time in between, I won't bring the Pro, I'll bring the Air. So I hope that comes on the Air.
Sure.
I'm sure you agree with me that this is something which is very beneficial. And how do you feel that it can benefit regular or even heavy users when it comes to this?
I kind of miss the days of the small Macs, little MacBooks, 12-inch PowerBooks and the MacBooks. And I remember those days, way before you guys.
Yes, of course.
We had things like PCM, MCIA modem cards where you slot into your PowerBooks or your MacBooks, right? And that gave you internet access. It was not cellular, but it was more ISDN and stuff like that. So, and like you mentioned, it's very common across the PC laptop space. A lot of laptops have it. Those who are powered by Snapdragons also have already cellular access. I think it'll be a very good move. Makes sense to be on the Air because it's a light laptop and something that you want to lug around a lot. And it's really about convenience as well, that you don't have to look for availability of Wi-Fi connection. You don't have to tether it to your phone. Obviously, that is something as an option for all of us right now, where we tether across the iPhone. But the problem with that is it uses up battery on your phone.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to be a devil's advocate.
Yeah, and because it's cellular, it's gonna really kill your battery.
So it doesn't affect your iPhone per se. Because I was just about to be the devil's advocate. Because
Apple has made it so easy to use to tether your device. So that's an option.
And it also could be that if it's on a Mac or a laptop, probably the overall waveform, the overall millimeter waves and stuff, maybe it can be stronger on a laptop. So the reception on a Mac would be way much better on an iPhone. Probably.
Possible.
Maybe they can put in a bit more power to just power up the C2 modem or the C3, whatever comes first, right? So
I mean, what's stopping Apple to putting an eSIM just like in the iPad Pro and your iPad, right? On the Mac. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Whether there's warrants that purpose or not. I mean, whether people are actually looking for it or not.
That's a good point. So
that'll be a nice
conclusion, do you want this to happen on your Mac?
Yeah. Would you pay $500 more for?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes, I would. I would definitely would want that because having a separate, because I do have like, of course, extra SIMs and stuff. So just having a dedicated SIM there would be great. But I think they might not have to put a physical SIM.
No, I think eSIM is fine. Yeah.
Which is fine by me as well. So yeah, hopefully it comes in a MacBook Air lineup and we'll be absolutely happy about that. Okay, your segment is of course the who asked for this? Vernon, the Bluefox NX1, a smartphone coming from China, matte black finish, thick as hell.
Thick as hell?
That's what he
It's
said.
not that bad.
12 millimeters. That's this thick, bro.
But it's so small. It's little.
The battery size is 3,000 milliamps of battery.
It's not bad. It's bigger than an iPhone 17 Air.
Yeah, but it's so thick. Okay, never mind. 106 grams, which is surprising because it's quite thick.
Yeah.
4-inch LCD screen, which is a 540p.
Dude, it's retina resolution, you know? It's 321
Retina
PPI.
means LCD.
321
540p in 2025?
No, it's because it's 4-inch, so it's actually very sharp.
I like this conversation we're having because you are fighting for it and I'm like, I didn't ask for this, but it's okay. Dynamic island style in front. That's quite
Exactly.
interesting. I was like, wow. And then one rear camera. We all know what Uma
Just
said
like
about
an
that.
iPhone.
No headphones jack, which is weird. They should have that. No IP rating, obviously.
It's an IR blaster though.
4 gigabytes of RAM with 64 gigabytes of storage. That one I did not like, but you can have an SD card slot up to 2 terabytes.
They do have an 8 gigabytes and 128 version.
Oh, they have a higher variant.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. 4G only, which
is okay.
I'm okay with that.
The good thing is it's
IR
global.
Blaster. Yeah.
So you can actually use it when
exactly.
it's unlocked.
There's an IR blaster, like what you said, using the MediaTek Helio G81 chipset, 12 nm. Holy mother of God. It overheats
Sounds
while
like an
gaming.
Intel 10th gen chip.
It's not meant for gaming, but I saw some videos about how it overheats like 50 degrees Celsius. That's like worse than Dubai. Here's the main factor which might let people buy it, because the price is about 99 USD.
Yeah, it's so
which is
attractive.
close to the Xiaomi Redmi 13C, which I would still recommend more than this particular phone. But
Really?
yes, Vernon, who asked for this?
I think people who want a small phone, I think there's a space and room for a small phone. And looking at the portfolio, which literally is filled with knockoff iPhones and Samsung looking devices, but they sell really cheap. 99 US dollars.
Yeah.
Available to ship globally. Why not? I might actually try it.
Okay, like you
I
buy
think
them,
it's
you review.
I think it's great as a spare phone or for traveling. Especially when you go to places where you don't feel very secure. Don't bring your main devices and just bring this.
But it's still
you
a
get connected.
smartphone per se.
Yeah, it is.
I'd
And it
rather-
looks so iOS-like.
It's so thick. I can't think how thick it is. It's so thick. It's this thick. It's so thick. When I saw it at the back, I was like,
Who
okay.
cares about thick when it's small?
If it's small, if it's small but thick, ayo. Yeah, like, you know how this is going. Mo is laughing. his
sometimes
ass off.
girth is more important than length alone. But yeah.
For me,
Maybe we're talking
if
about
it's
something
small,
else here.
Okay, if it's small, you put it in a pocket, it's going to look like a brick because it's thick.
Yeah, I don't think it's any thicker than a power bank.
Always keep on laughing. yeah, this is too thick, bro. That's what she said. Lah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, that would be the news. And of course, who asked for this? Before we close the set, we have the community segment where if you had the power to
this
delete
is
one
sensitive.
social media app forever. First of all, thank you so much for
I know what's
voting
his
over
answer
here.
gonna be, by the
Yes,
way.
exactly. I'm going to get your answer and then you guess what is my answer, okay? Tell us why in the comment section below. The highest that people feel like they want to delete straight away and say bye-bye is Facebook. 33%, that's the highest. Oh, wait.
No, it's not.
TikTok is 34%.
Yes.
Okay, this is the one of the latest ones.
Yeah.
Followed by Facebook, 33%, so it's very close. I'm glad that other people don't like TikTok too, but it's okay. Instagram is 13%. Seems like people like Instagram. I like Instagram. I still feel like...
I still like it.
Yeah,
I
and
don't,
then X, which I'm like, I
I
never
still like
deleted my
X,
app,
yeah.
but
I hate to call it X. I still call it Twitter.
yeah, I know. Okay, so the current hierarchy is that again TikTok highest, followed by Facebook very closely, Instagram. X, or formerly Twitter, and then Instagram. What is yours?
Before
gonna
that,
load
I
up
really
the-
like to know what the age group is answering these polls because
Yeah, actually, I
it
wish I
reflects the generations, and I feel people are answering TikTok. Okay, I agree with that.
Oh, so the
So
current,
I answered TikTok, by the way, and I know
you
that's
did?
your answer as well.
yes, my answer is TikTok. I
I've
absolutely
never-
hate
I've never liked TikTok.
We post on TikTok. So TikTok is the only platform, fun fact, where I don't answer a single comment.
Don't need
Go
to.
check it out and see.
You just
Because
want the views.
I'm just releasing it there because it's like, okay, we are on TikTok too. I hate TikTok. I think that it has killed quality content for every other platform as well. Because yeah, some may say that, it has lowered the barrier of entry for content creators, which sucks
What do you
now.
mean by lowering the
Because
barrier of
the
entry?
last time, that means like anybody can come up with a video
but
because of
it's the
TikTok.
same on IG.
It's because TikTok did it first.
Yeah, so you get shorts and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
so the shots and all. So when IG didn't have reels at first, right? They had pictures, which looks amazing. You followed a grid.
Exactly.
Jason Smashpot had an amazing grid.
I love IG because
McKinnon's,
of
grid
photos.
was so nice. Even Mo used to do a lot of nice grid. And then TikTok came about. And TikTok's video was so not good in quality, and it was just anything can be viral.
It was
right?
all about 5, 10 seconds, 15
Exactly.
seconds. Yeah.
And if you open your TikTok account right now, TikTok account right now, just open the app, it will play a video automatically, right? Do you know that that's counted as a view? I'm like, really, dude? This is something which I was shocked to learn.
So vanity metrics, which actually don't mean anything because
yeah. And I do have, I'm not going to mention names out there, I do have a lot of TikTok creators who come to me and Lihud, ask for advice on how do they go onto the YouTube platform, because they realize is that they may have millions of followers, but no one is actually buying to what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't really bother about that. They just want to see for quick, dopamine blast, right? So that's one. So yes, TikTok is my number one. What is your number one?
TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, what you said is absolutely resonates with me.
Okay. How about Facebook though? Would you say Facebook will come in second?
Do you know that for me, I quit Facebook in 2016. I deleted my account. I had 4,000 friends, whatever stuff.
I did
deleted
the same
it
thing,
because
but not the deleted. I just deactivated. It's still on.
I deactivated then deleted because I felt that it became a space for too much fake news and
Negativity.
crappy news.
How about negativity? For me, it was negativity.
Yeah, it was very negative.
Just a place to just complain.
Yeah.
Threads is almost becoming like that though. A place to just complain.
Threads is a bit more political and racist.
I don't post a single thing on Threads except for just
I
reusing some of the stuff. But
I refuse to go on Threads, so I refuse to install another social media app, especially if it's like a X copy. I hate it, so I don't.
I'm
I don't
okay in
use
Threads,
it.
but I just don't post it as much. And also, I've noticed that it is becoming a very negative place. People are just complaining half the time there. So
Isn't that social media?
Yeah, it is. Why
for?
do you still like X or formerly Twitter?
I like the brevity of it. I like that it's short and concise. It's still getting. I mean, depending who you follow, and it can be a bit negative as well.
Yeah.
A lot of politics and
I've
stuff.
totally stopped using X. I tried to because
I watch a lot of football stuff on X.
So I wanted to be active on X even before it was X, right? The reason why, because I wanted to keep in touch with a lot of creators. Like people like Dave2D, he's still very, very, like sometimes he messages me on that platform. I'm like, hey, yo, bro. And then by the time I see his message, it'll be like 1 month after that. I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry, this is not your message. Because especially the tech scene, like MKBHDs of the world or Dave2D,
they still
use X as their main thing. So I always told myself that, I'm going to at least post one thing once. I tried it, but eventually.
But in general, in this part of the world, X is a bit, not as popular.
Yeah.
So they don't use it as much. IG, I still think is the number one.
Why do you like IG?
It's visual. It's a very visual tool. I'm on the fence on things like reels and stories because I think it took away the essence of the original IG. Like you mentioned, photos, the grids.
Yeah.
Creators were posting really nice stuff, visual stuff on IG. It was much simpler then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's become a video platform pretty much. Yeah. And even IG kind of pushes a lot of reels for you to
They started pushing the
videos.
carousel post though.
Yeah.
Like
That's only recent.
Yeah, there's only recently where you've just said, so in case you all did not know that, in case you post a carousel post, like just say there's 4 pictures, if you come across one of the pictures and you never like it, the next time you open IG, it will automatically switch to another carousel post to make sure it's, hey, please like me. Which is interesting.
It's also the algorithm speaking.
Yeah,
right?
it's not perfect, but I think among all the social media platforms, I like it. I just hate the fact that they want to charge for your blue tick. I refuse to pay it until today.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
I still refuse to pay it until
I refuse
today
to
because
pay.
my point is that
it should be earned.
It should be earned until today. No disrespect for people who pay for it. I know why they have the reasons. For me, earning is one thing. So the second of all, I think the idea of everybody having blue tick where they don't have a significant impact from an online platform doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So like
I agree.
Like I feel like okay, blue tick should be a little more for creators or somebody very, 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 very famous. Someone who's dedicated. Or maybe they can give you, so like for example, just say a creator who does not create more than 6 months, they take it off, for example. Yeah, I mean, or you're not active in the next 6 months. So for me, that's why I'm very against it. I'll get it if they offer it to me, but I'm not going to pay for it. They have come up with so many different ways, so that's why I didn't. So my personal account, no. Adam Lobo TV, yes. That's just to create the authenticity of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, is no. Let's check out the comments because there's 16 comments. And the current poll, if you watch it or see right now, TikTok has increased to 36%, bringing Facebook down to 31%, which is good. So I'm glad all of y'all agree with me as well, yeah? Okay, let's check out the comments as the final one. Vernon says TikTok and then Facebook. Okay, like I said, I never seen all of this, so I'm finally seeing. Sean Tipson says all. Okay, bro.
Pick one, bro. Pick one.
Just pick one. Nobody said YouTube. Oh, wait, God. Okay. Yeah, Sean Tipson also says then YouTube. Okay, bro. He's
but
on
is YouTube a social media app?
It's not.
Or is it a video platform?
It's a video platform. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why Said did not put there. So it makes sense. Rahmat Styles 4218 says, I just cannot deal with FB anymore due to anxiety. All of a sudden during COVID, I only spend less than a minute there. I don't get
Good
what
for
it
you.
means. So he said that, or during COVID, he couldn't take it. Or because of the anxiety and all, and then he never bothered. Okay, that's fine. Richard Ambler says, definitely Facebook. I mean, who wants to know that Susan's having pasta for tea? That's cute. But then again, Instagram
But that's
story
social
is the
media
same.
though.
Yeah. But like I said, for me, why Facebook comes second is because actually it's two things. Number one would be the negativity. Second of all, you know how creators, like even though you can have a high following, but your average post, the likes is so low and
Very
people
low.
think that you're buying, but it's no, it's because Facebook wants you to buy ads and boost, which is annoying. So that's another reason why I'm like,
I mean, organic traffic is dead, so it's been dead for a
Nato
while.
says Instagram for sure. Never say why. We would love to know your thoughts about that. And then Victor Tomo says, damn, Facebook is old. I agree, man. I don't know who uses it, but I'm not going to mention which CEO, but there's a CEO of a smartphone brand here in Malaysia, apparently, who loves Facebook. So if you see why...
CEO of a smartphone brand. Wow.
Yeah, I cannot mention. Not nice. Okay. Then X.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, you know. So my point, I just don't want to let the cat out of the bag for something which is, I believe, personal information. So yeah. X, because he randomly keeps suspending and unsuspending me for a reason. What are you doing? Zero Enemy. Wow, it's been a long time. This guy used
Thanks
to always...
Elon Musk, that one.
Yeah. He used to always comment. Probably X, because he's one of the most toxic and drama-craving social media ever. And the other apps doesn't even come close. Would you agree?
Tend to agree, depending on subject matter. Yep.
Yeah, I agree because I'm not there. Nash Day says X because he's getting more and more brain dead every minute. Porn accounts everywhere. Idiots spouting controversial nonsense left, right, center. Elon Musk is the single worst thing that has happened to the platform.
I agree.
Okay, bro. And then Rafa Wilson says, I just cannot stand TikTok. So annoying. I agree with you. Okay, so thank you guys so much for actually giving your votes and giving all of your input. It's very, very much appreciated because we like to have this community segment. If we had a choice, we will just talk about this or so moving forward. We don't mind because we want you all to be part of this, to have a conversation together with Vernon and I as well. Okay, as mentioned earlier, what's exciting next week? The Vivo V60 launch. We do have the variant in light blue, not the berry purple. Very good phone. I took the phone out earlier because I had my dental appointment. So I went to Sunway Pyramid, took a bunch of photos.
Do you take photos of teeth? Or?
No, I took photos of Sunway Lagoon. And then they have this very interesting 4-season photo, which is mind-blowing. So it uses AI. You take a photo. You have 4 different seasons. And you can take a photo of Sunway Lagoon and it shows it's snowing and it looks real as hell. I need to show to Mo. He's going to be very, very impressed by that.
We only have 1 season, hot.
Correct. And hazy too. So yeah, that's going to be launching here in Malaysia Tuesday. A very interesting one. We released the Poco F7 video as mentioned, so that is also something for you all to see in case you guys haven't done so. Upcoming videos tomorrow, if you're watching this on a Saturday, the M3 Ultra Max Studio review, especially in-depth gaming tests,
waiting for that.
Cyberpunk, Resident Evil, everything is there, so make sure to check it out as well. We are in the midst of doing a lot of videos. Some is embargo, some is not. We can mention, since the review of that video is already up on YouTube, we are also in the midst of reviewing the Lenovo Legion 5. A very good Windows laptop for gaming as well. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we'd like to say thank you guys so much for watching. Episode number 28. My name is Adam Lobo.
My name is Vernon. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.